Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a recent unsanctioned tournament that I played here. It'll be my third tournament of the year. It was the Mardi Gras Classic, run by the Mobile Area Disc Golf Association, which I'm a board member of, as well as Matty O. That's right, Matt Orm of Westside Disc partnered up to help run this tournament. And I did not get a chance to record the first round of this event, as it was 2 rounds here at the Hobbit course out in the Spring Hill area of Mobile, Alabama. As my fiance was on call the night before and got called in to work, and so I was going to make her wake up early in the morning to film the first round. So I played the first round, but we got the second round filmed. That's what we're looking at here. Just to kind of give you an update. From the first round, I shot around even par, and there was, I think, 7 players in the MA2 division. I was kind of somewhere in the middle of the pack, like in 4th or 3rd position. Actually, I think I was like in the 4th position going into the second round. But just was a tough day, some tricky footing due to some muddy conditions, and I'm not going to lie to you, I had 3 dead center spit outs on the putting green that literally hit the center pole and bounced back at me. And so what could have been like a 3 under or 4 under par round wound up turning into basically an even par round. And so that's kind of the score I was sitting with heading into the second round. I think I was a good 6 or 7 strokes away from the lead, and I was probably 3-ish strokes away from a top 3 finish, which was kind of the goal. And so without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into the second round and talk you through the day. All right, and so we start on hole 12 for the second round here at the Hobbit course, which I have filmed here before if you want to check out a more detailed analysis of this course. I've played it in the past on the channel, I think about a year ago, but just played the forehand and put it in a good position, gave myself a really good chance at birdie here. And just a little right of center on that one. I can't blame the basket for that one. That was totally on me. But I was just a little bit timid on the putting green coming into this round because I had had so many spit outs in the first round. Again, I had probably 3 dead center spit outs in the first round. And so I was just kind of in my own head about putting coming into the second round after what happened to me. This hole, I just didn't really give myself a chance off the tee. So just kind of pitch up and play for par. Here we're on a par 4. A decent amount of headwind, so I decided to throw my double G run Emperor. Pretty stable run of Emperor. As you can see, I got some good turn with the headwind. And landed myself in a pretty good spot. Probably about halfway up the fairway. So, giving myself a chance to approach this basket for birdie. But it's a scary shot because you really want to be either short or right.
Get down.
Otherwise, you wind up with this situation, which actually isn't too bad. You're putting uphill towards the basket, but at least I'm not having to do a death putt from the other side. But still, was a little bit short. Left myself a long putt. And didn't quite get it there. So, just kind of a par start. Now, this is a tough hole. It's about 300 feet, but it plays super uphill. So, it plays way more than 300 feet. So, I played something pretty understable, that Halo Maya. And threw a pretty good shot. Just didn't quite get enough height on it to get up there and give myself a easy birdie putt. And so now I have this kind of tricky footing on the slope putt for birdie. Still probably technically within circle 1, though. Or close to it. But yeah, just couldn't get it done. Then on this hole, I thought we were going to have a right to left wind, 'cause that's what it felt like when we were walking up the hill from the previous hole.
Oh, dude.
And so I tried to just throw like a straighter disc and thought the right to left wind would kind of push it left, but it just kind of sliced through it and just kept going straight. So
It's kind of at your back, but
well right of the basket.
Try to just like float out to the right and put it safe then.
And this is a pitch up, and so I'm kind of just playing par golf to start off this round as we get to hole number 17, which this is a hole I really feel like I should be birdieing every time. It's a really easy chip forehand. Unfortunately, I just put this out way too wide. And I didn't really get the skip right that I was looking for because the disc was on such a sharp angle. But still not too shabby. Man, just low on the putt. And this is like a 440-foot par 3, so I knew there was really not much chance of birdieing this hole. But I threw my overstable Emperor on some Annie and watched it fight back. Got a little skip there. And I think I threw the disc about 350 feet or so. But as you can see, that still puts me almost 100 feet short of the basket. So really not much left to be done, but a little chip shot.
Come on. Let's get.
Pulled it a little wide, though, so left myself a longer putt than I wanted, but still not bad. It's just an easy tester putt. After missing low on the previous hole, I hit high on this one. And I can't even be mad at the basket. I mean, that's just totally me. I missed low the last hole, and then here we see I just hit the nub up top. Dead center, so my aim is right, but the height was just not correct. So just an overcorrection from the previous hole. And again, I think a lot of this was just my putting confidence was kind of shattered after the spit outs of the previous round. I had such a good putting performance when I won the tournament out at Lake Ellis on that NADGT event, the last video I put out before this one. And then to come to this tournament and have a bunch of spit outs in the first round, I don't know. I just kind of got rattled on the putting green. But we get to hole 1, kind of a 280-ish foot hole. Threw a really nice wide left forehand. Probably one of the best tee shots I've ever had on this hole. So this is a chance to finally put a birdie on the board after bogeying the last hole. And that brings me back to even par. Now this is actually a par 4. And not too hard of one either. Just played that Maya, got a little bit of turn out of it. Then got some fade. And yeah, left myself kind of just a chip shot to get up there and give myself a birdie putt. Try to go 2 under. Not the best executed up shot, but it'll work. Actually, last round I was on the other side of the bat, having to putt over the top of the tree branch to make my birdie putt. And this time around, I had a straightforward putt. And almost missed it. But luckily, got it in there. And so that put me at 2 under par after getting a couple birdies in a row.
Oh, no.
I threw a roller the first round, and it was actually a really good roller on the left-hand side that cut right. This time, I threw a really bad roller, but I somehow still wound up there. I do not understand how this worked. As you could hear me say, what? Don't really understand. So I have myself a putt here for birdie. And able to put it in. So I got 3 birdies in a row. Got the turkey on holes 1 through 3. So that puts me at 2 under par, actually, after the bogey on hole 18. This is hole 4. Just trying to play a wide gliding hyzer, which is just an easier shot than trying to hit the center gap. But it definitely makes it a lot harder to birdie the hole. But I actually gave myself a birdie putt. A little bit longer than I wanted, but it's there for sure.
I knew that was going to happen.
And I just caught the tree on kind of a hyzer putt line I was going for. And I actually laced this hole the first round and birdied it. And here I'm throwing the exact same disc, but just burnt it over.
Why'd I do that?
As you know from watching previous videos here recently, yanking the disc right on a backhand has been my biggest miss. But still should be able to get a par here.
No, dude.
But I just kind of babied my forehand upshot. And then I left myself a longer putt than I wanted to try to save par on this hole.
Get it, man.
And I just left it short. So I'm just dealing with height issues on my putt. I think part of it was because the baskets were kind of different heights, but it's also just because I was in my own head about my putt. So now I think that bogey puts me back to 1 under par on the round.
Same tree, bro.
Yeah, I did hit that tree the first round as well and had this exact same upshot the previous round. And, yep. Put it right underneath the basket, able to get the par there. So now we're on another par 4 here. I believe this is hole 7. Yeah.
No.
And I just yanked this thing. I had a tailwind, so I was trying to throw something understable and just get as much distance as I could, but I wound up just yanking it really right. Luckily, I'm in bounds. This is where my disc landed. The only out of bounds was the water. But I can't really see the basket from where I'm at because it's such a big slope. So I'm just kind of having to guess, essentially, on this kind of hyzer line. And I just left it, you know, nose up and well short. And so really not much to do on this hole, but maybe try to give it a bid for, you know, a long birdie putt, but more than likely take the par. And yeah, no big deal. As this will be the par tap-in putt. Oh, here it is again. Hits the pole and bounces right out. And again, I'd said earlier that this had happened to me, I think, 3 times in the first round. And I'm Sad, obviously, it happened, but I'm glad I at least caught this one on camera so you can see just how wrecked I was getting on these baskets. Just, I mean, as dead center as it gets, right on the pole, hits the pole, and then just slides right out. And so it should have been an easy routine tap in par, turns to another bogey, which I think at this point brings me back to even par. So yeah, I don't know, man. Again, that was the 4th or 5th time it happened to me overall for the tournament, but the first time this round. I played the Halo Aztec on a hyzer line here, and actually did cut through the bush. That was pretty nice, so it actually left me a clean look at the basket. I was kind of testing my jump to see if I was actually going to be able to have footing, because, you know, there's a lot of roots and stuff on this slope. Didn't quite get enough power, but easy tap in for par there. Now, this is a really tough hole. It's very downhill, but requires a lot of distance. So I was trying to play like a big turnover, and I just put it 2 inside. Wound up catching the tree. First round, I actually threw the hole perfect and had a birdie putt, but just missed a putt. This time, you know, I threw this drive way 2 inside and left myself way short with that tree kick. And I just had awkward footing on the slope and all this tall brush. I just did not put enough power on the shot. Wound up getting caught up on that and rolling backwards. So now this is a long par putt attempt from a great distance away. And yeah, it just didn't happen for me. So wound up bogeying that hole or so. Bogey or a double, I can't remember, honestly. I think I might have missed that putt and wound up doubling the hole, honestly. I can't remember. So now on the very next hole, this is a 340-foot hole. Just kind of a big hyzer shot hole, but I threw something too understable, and I threw it way too far forward. I actually wound up ranging this throw at 375 feet from the tee. Unfortunately, it's about 30 feet past the basket and way around this corner, giving me a very tricky putt. And so I wound up just laying it up for a par tap-in. And actually, I had this identical tap-in putt in the first round, and that was one of the spit-outs I had for a bogey. Down through this hole pretty much exactly how I wanted to. Just a big gliding hyzer, and left myself a putt for birdie on this hole. Try to finish strong, but unfortunately, I just yanked it right, and so it is going to wind up being a par to end the tournament. So, folks, in the end, with all the ups and downs, I think I wound up shooting either even or 1 over par on the second round, which was pretty much identical to the first round. I think that was also an even par round or 1 over or somewhere in that range. Had a few good birdies. You know, I think obviously it was really cool to have the 3 birdies in a row in holes 1 through 3 in the second round that we caught on film. And I had a couple of really good birdies in the first round as well. But I had a couple of really just unlucky, nasty spit outs on the putting green. You got to see 1 of them on this round. But I had 3 or so in the first round, so that was, you know, 4 strokes basically right there. And those 4 strokes are what kept me from being under par for the tournament. And then also I just had a couple of miscues on the putting green as well, just kind of getting in my own head after some of the spit outs. You know, hole 18, I missed a really easy putt, took a bogey because of it. And then I had another hole that was, you know, going to be a pretty routine par that I missed a putt on as well. So definitely a couple of mishaps as well for me. Threw pretty well overall, though, I would say. Like, my tee shots were actually pretty good. Even pulled off a couple of nice rollers. One of them I didn't catch on film because it was the first round, but it was like a perfect roller on hole 3 that I turned to a birdie. This round that I caught on film, it wasn't as good of a roller, but I still wound up getting the birdie. So, all in all, you know, it was an unsanctioned tournament, so there wasn't as much pressure. You know, no rating ons online, no, you know, record of it going to really be anywhere, more for bragging rights. And in the end, it was fun just to kind of play a casual tournament, you know, with the Mobile Area Disc Golf Association, with Matty O being there, you know, hanging out and helping run the tournament and meeting all the local fans and stuff like that, as he is from this area, before he heads off on the Disc Golf Pro Tour coming up here pretty soon. So, yeah, it was a kind of a fun, just lesser pressure tournament. It was right after the win, though, at Lake Ellis at the NADGT event, so I kind of came in with some high hopes of being able to have, like, a really good follow-up performance to that. And again, for the most part, I threw pretty well, but just, again, some miscues on the putting green and, you know, had a couple unlucky spit outs as well. But overall, still a lot of fun, had a good time, which is really the main I think, point of this Mardi Gras Classic tournament being an unsanctioned event. And, you know, with the course that we're on, all natural tees, and with the baskets being older and stuff, you can't take it too seriously when little mistakes or little things kind of just, you know, not go your way and you get a little unlucky here and there. But either way, it was fun to be able to go out and play it. I do actually enjoy this course just to go out and play for fun. Again, there are a couple of things that stop it from being a really good tournament course, but it still is a ton of fun. And, you know, the Mobile Area Disc Association did a great job. Matteo did a great job helping run it, and I had a good time playing it and filming it. But folks, I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please go ahead and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Also give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are in the description below. Just follow Dust on both of those social media channels. Also leave a comment, you know, leave a thumbs up, all that jazz to help the channel grow. We're actually growing pretty well. You know, I think at the beginning of this year, we had just surpassed 1,000 subscribers, and now we have just surpassed 1,100 subscribers. So we've gained another 100 or so subscribers here in 2024, a couple of months in. So, you know, starting to try to push towards that 1,500 goal, maybe the 2,000 goal, and really just kind of keep the channel climbing. That's really been cool. Obviously, you know, shout out to Infinite Disc, my sponsor for the year. You know, has been really awesome. Really been enjoying their disc. You know, definitely, folks, if you are looking for some disc or some disc golf related equipment, definitely go check out infinitedisc.com. They have a huge variety of equipment and discs. They pretty much carry every manufacturer you could think of, and some you probably never heard of, as well as just accessories and bags and all that good stuff. And they come at a great price and all that jazz. So check that all out. But without further ado, signing off until next time. Have a good one.